When minigames first started popping up in RuneScape, they were just that. Minigames. They were little activities often located in an instanced area that gave small rewards that were either cosmetic or useful for a specific purpose. Early on, you had safe PvP minigames like Clan Wars or Castle Wars, which rewarded you with decorative armor and, if you were lucky, some entertaining public chat. Then you had activities like Pest Control or the Rogue's Den, offering you Void Armor and the Rogue's Outfit. Both of these are very useful armor sets. However, once you get them, there wasn't much of a reason to keep doing these minigames. Rogue's Den gives you very minor agility and thieving XP, and is not a viable training method for either skill. Pest Control, on the other hand, gives combat XP, which was only awarded at half the rate of fighting regular monsters up until 2014. The fact that Jagex went out of their way to give us less combat XP in there makes me think that they did not originally intend to make minigames primary training methods. Fast forward to today's game and it's a completely different story. Minigames now fill a massive gap in training methods for many skills. Typically, they are moderate intensity and give moderate XP and GP within the context of that skill. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Wintertodt. This game is basically the entire fire making skill at this point. Although it doesn't offer as much XP as Burning Magics or Redwoods, it is a lot less click intensive and you profit from the supply crates as opposed to losing money on logs. And even then, Wintertodt is still really good XP, topping out at a little over 300k an hour. If that's not enough, this game also gives a chance at a pet, which regular fire making does not. Wintertodt is especially popular for Iron Men, who oftentimes will rush 99 fire making exclusively through Wintertodt once they have it unlocked, as the crates give a lot of useful supplies, including logs, fish, gems, and ores. Here's the thing though, fire making was a meme skill before Wintertodt. In fact, it still is to a degree. There is no actual use to this skill other than fulfilling diary and quest requirements. Beyond that, it is just a flex. You don't have an increased success rate cooking on higher level fires, and they don't even burn longer. The only reason to burn higher level logs is for the XP. It's actually kind of insane that fire making is even a skill at all, given how hard it is for new skills to pass nowadays. If fire making wasn't in the game already and they tried to release it in 2023, there is an exactly 0% chance it would pass a poll. So Wintertodt was a band-aid fix, but it did make sense in this case because the skill seems like a lost cause. Smithing is another skill that has some issues. When RuneScape first released, Adamant Armor was BIS, and shortly after this it was Rune Armor. The problem is smithing rune items still requires over 90 smithing, despite them being basically just alchables at this point. You could always smelt some bars at a furnace and still make some profit, but it was very slow XP. That's where Blast Furnace came in. This is a minigame which lets you run back and forth smelting bars faster than a regular furnace and using less coal in the process. You can also smelt gold bars here with the goldsmith gauntlets for the best smithing XP in the game. This was the undisputed smithing meta for years, and now we have Giant's Foundry, which is yet another minigame. This one doesn't offer much profit and the XP is not as good as gold bars, it's just less miserable than Blast Furnace. The odds are, though, if you are training smithing, you are probably in one of these two minigames. A skill that more recently got its own minigame is, of course, Runecraft. Guardians of the Rift was released last year and gave us a desperately needed low to mid-level Runecraft method that wasn't super click intensive. Many people choose to level Runecraft to 99 exclusively through Guardians. The XP here is not amazing, but this is by far the most popular training method for this skill, and sometimes it's actually hard to get in a game on a mass world. But what about other skills? Minigames fill huge gaps all over the place, as it turns out. If you want to train thieving but don't want to spam click the Arty Knight, there are now multiple minigames to choose from. You have the stealing artifacts activity, where you sneak around the docks of Port Piscarius, stealing from houses and dodging guards. As a side note, I tried this once and absolutely hated it, but I'd imagine it's fairly brain dead once you learn the guards' movement patterns. If you're looking for AFK, Summer Garden is the place to go. It offers over 150k XP per hour and used to be a pain to set up, but now with the official Mass Worlds, it's a lot more laid back. Pyramid Plunder is a popular option as well, as it offers some of the best XP in the game, and also gives you a chance at the Pharaoh Scepter, which goes for around 2.6 mil. When I was grinding out 99 Thieving, I got the sense that the majority of players still trained thieving with traditional methods. This is probably just because pickpocketing is so brain dead. However, with the release of the Summer Garden Mass Worlds, this may have changed. If you look at skills like construction or farming, they both have a minigame that fills a niche, yet these minigames are ignored by the majority of players. For construction, you have Mahogany Homes, an activity where you basically play the role of a construction worker who has to provide your own supplies to work on other people's houses, and then you receive less supplies back as payment. The upside is it's a lot less expensive and less click intensive than traditional construction methods. Farming gives us Tithe Farm, which has some nice rewards, such as the herb sack and auto weed. This is also the only active training method for farming. However, EHP wise, tree runs are a lot better even if the XP is passive. Most people who do this minigame will just go get the rewards and then leave. Fishing has Temperos, which I think hit the nail on the head. It follows the trend of giving medium XP and requiring medium effort. However, the difference between this and Wintertodt is that fishing is a good skill that has other activities to complement this. There are plenty of AFK options that I find very relaxing, like barb fishing or carumblins, and on the EHP side of things there is 3-ticking and drift net fishing, which are very efficient training methods if you can handle the non-stop clicking. Agility is in a unique spot because Hallowed Sepulchre is considered a minigame and is also the best agility XP by far. However, not many people actually do this activity. I personally have only ever set foot in here for this video, and my reasoning for not doing it while training was basically that I was lazy and didn't want to learn something hard for a skill I could mindlessly grind out on rooftops. Now, is this a good reason? Probably not, but I'm not alone in this. The majority of OSRS players have not experienced this content. This is somewhat similar to Volcanic Mine, which actually offers great mining XP and is considered very easy once you get the hang of it, but you need a group and you need to join a Discord to find one, which is a barrier to entry that most don't pass. I joined a Discord to learn raids because it was something I really wanted to do, but joining one to do mining, I'm not doing that. Again, this is probably a bad excuse, but the reason people do Motherload instead of this is because you don't need a group for that. So let's look at the good that MinigameScape has brought. For one thing, it has made a lot of skills much more enjoyable. I'm always open to new training methods as long as they aren't game breaking. It also can be a fun social experience. Wintertodt is home to the most active public chat in the game. However, being social is completely optional, as these games are all easy enough that you can just turn off chat and zone out. You don't actually need to strategize with other players in almost any of these mini games. It's just people talking shit and having a good time. So what about the downside? Well, for one, I think the more mini games there are, the less alive the world will feel. There's not nearly as much social skilling that goes on outside of mini games because there are so many people in instanced areas. I remember back in the day just walking around and seeing people in the most random places and having conversations. Obviously now with the knowledge out about the game, people are a lot more concerned with efficiency as opposed to back in the RS2 days. In addition, some mini games feel like a band-aid fix to skills that were poorly designed. Fire making is the obvious example of this. It's a pretty pointless skill and they just just slapped a minigame on it and moved on. I would make the same argument about smithing. It was outdated and could be reworked completely, but as of now, it's just been replaced with Blast Furnace and Giant's Foundry to get people through it. The thought of actually smithing armor that someone will then wear is an RPG element that has long been lost on this game, even for Iron Man. This is something we'll likely never get back, but smithing could still use some work. So what's the verdict? Have minigames gone too far? In my opinion, no, they have not. Not yet, anyway. It's a meme that every skill is being replaced by a minigame, and there's definitely some truth to it, but as of now, the majority of training methods still exist outside of minigames. We also have to accept that OSRS is completely different from actual 2007scape, and a lot of this is just due to the way people play. Since everyone now wants a path to grind to 99 without wanting to snap their computer in half, minigames had to fill in a lot of holes. This doesn't mean that I think the meta of every skill should be a minigame. I still want them to rework skills that need reworking. With that being said, that is all I have for you, so I will see you in the next one.